This is me dying like a bot in lava and losing my firestone. Luckily, I still had one wealth stone, but this had definitely set me back to square one. And without my second stone being the firestone, since I had lost it in the lava, I was officially back to being the brokest player on this SMP. But you'd probably be shocked if I were to say that this actually didn't affect my plan one bit. In fact, I was gonna not even use the Firestone after I executed this plan. And you may be asking, what plan would I not use the Firestone in? Well, there's a stone called the Mischief Stone that's 10 times more powerful than the Firestone. It grants weakness 3 and blindness to the closest opponent, which can be devastating in fights and can turn over fights as your opponent can't see and now they deal less damage, making it a total game changer. And another plus about it is the craft is very easy, like really easy, like a lot easier than the wealth stone. So this was going to be the stone I was going to need if I was going to take over the server ever. Since I had leftover wither skulls from obtaining the wealth stone, and I also brewed weakness pots earlier, all I had to get was the skull, which was arguably the hardest part since I had looting 3 now. But I was ready to depart on my journey to the ancient city. So now that I would have had all the skulk, I mean I had all 6 skulks, so why would I stay? But the ancient city actually looked pretty unlooted, and if I got a god apple, that would pretty much complete the third step in my plan. So I decided it was worth it for the risk, as there was some valuable items I could get from this ancient city. And I think if I keep looting this ancient city, there's a lot of valuable items I could get that could really help out my plan, whether it's crafting stones or just using them in battle. I think a lot of items could help my plan. As I was digging down, I did set off my first shrieker warning, so that was something to watch out for, because I did not want to spawn a warden. As I jumped off, I set off my second shrieker warning in the span of 30 seconds, so one more and I would spawn a warden, and that's something I do not want to happen. And I set off my third warning by opening up a chest. I'm still not sure if a warden spawned, but I still didn't want to get dropped by a warden, so I ran away anyways. But soon enough the darkness wore off, so I just kept venturing into the ancient city. Still no more crazy OP items from this chest, but I got another Swift Speak 3 book, a diamond hoe, and then a few regeneration bottles, which could be nice against wardens if it comes down to that, or I could use them in fights potentially, since I was pretty undergeared considering I had little to no golden apples. I tried not setting off the warden thing by like putting a wool wall, but I just didn't have enough wool, so I just said screw it, and I opened the chest anyways, and sadly no golden apple, but a few regen pots, a book, and some disc fragments. And yep, a warden sure did spawn, so I just ran for my life. Like, I ran like really fast. I had to eat, so like, I don't know what I did here, but yeah, I just kept running. I ran to the corner because I think the warden wouldn't chase me there. And after spawning my second warden after opening the chest and accidentally activating my wealthstone ability, to be honest, I just ran for my life, and I was not back from there. Like, this was the final straw. Like, I was out, bro. Because I didn't want to risk dying and losing my only stone, which would essentially mean I would even be the brokerest player on the server, which, let's be real, I don't want to be broke. No one wants to be broke, so I dipped from the ancient city. And after finding a safe spot in the nether, I didn't use my old base because people actually found that. And I'm scared people like go to it or something, or like they'll log on to it, and a lot of people know where that is, or a good amount of people know where that is, so I just found a random space in the nether to craft the mischief stone, and all I had to do was wait patiently for 10 minutes, or not 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just wait for my stone to craft. Since I was getting bored, felt the sudden feeling to dig an escape tunnel. I felt like this would be pretty good if somebody logged on, and if people didn't log on, I would still have an escape tunnel, which would make it quicker to get back to my base, which would overall just be nice. Halfway in, I was pretty anxious, as this was the deadliest 15 minutes I would have to survive on the server. I mean, while I was crafting the mischief stone, a very desirable stone, anybody could log on and drop me. They'd have more loot than me and just outpower me. As the last 20 seconds remained, I was still a slight bit scared that somebody would log on, but I almost felt sure that nobody logged on. And finally, as that clock hit 5 seconds, and then hit 4 seconds, I was pretty sure that I would get it, and sure enough, I did. I had now obtained one of Minecraft's deadliest stones, the Mischief Stone, applying the ability to affect the closest enemy with blindness and weakness 3. But this wouldn't be a tryhard ZZV1 video if I hadn't almost died to Minecraft's deadliest liquid, lava. Just watch me do my best to survive. After all, it turns out to not be so bad, since I do end up surviving, and it's an overall W, and I still wonder how I survived this one, but not the other one, but honestly, I could care less. And honestly, I'm just happy that I finally have my hands on Minecraft's most desirable stone. See you in the next video.